阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛。他们还在调声音。却是否依然？
什么？
车下主不知道今天要翻译。刚刚我跟他们说了。
哦。
没跟他们说。
看那月牙沉，像那年那月牙沉。
阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥，可以吗？
蛋糕呢？蛋糕吃了，不让就带上了。他们说怕坏了，让我放在那放着。现在连在平台就说没了，就是因为你。你说怎么办？酒店儿花多钱？我知道你再等会儿，
谁呀？我给你
今天几点钟开始呀
8点了。
我以为7点半呢。那我这么早就过来了？
我本来7点多就想过来，他跟我说你那么早，我说你怎么还不走？他说7、8点呢。
8点才开始啊？哎，那要到几点钟才结束？
里面还有个杯子，
你先喝点
倒出来。我还拿了茶叶，不过我建议你不要喝，因为要上厕所。
电源呢？这个靠没电了。我就拿你这个喝吧，你不用
可以啊，
我
我就怕你嫌弃我。但你这个会不会拍进去不好看？
哦，是吗？我喝完我就放地上。
那我走了，你没事吧？我去前面坐着了。
打包吧，你过来，多少？10万。我上厕所去啊。哎，你从哪儿去啊？你往那儿拍啥呀？
可懵了，他们都要给我拿那氧气袋。上一次原路是已经不行了，待了将近2个小时。
那个耳机里边就出上次的声。刚才袁成是给我打电话了，说好像上次嫌他们没给东西。
是。
然后我把我的，他说你把你的给我看看，然后 少。我想你也没说啥呀，你让我咋弄？
他没东西。
对呀，他都是虚的。
我昨天下午就把我的大纲发给他了。
他也没反应，然后
他昨天晚上跟我说没问题。
然后他说他今天，他说他会弄一个，我说那你给我汇总，不，2个一起给，我说那行。
哦，他要证明一下。
对对对，我说那你明天最少晚上5点前，你可能你最好是9点前，他说他9点前他不行，他说我说那你下午之前给我一个。
上次在电话里说什么都是饭。
我弄了8000多字，网上资料全，我们的东西很少。我说你们东西我不知道你要说啥呀，什么商人思维我就摞那儿了。
我今天没跟上司对完稿子，主体是啥他都没跟我说，因为他们没有给，然后上司就显示上不知道说什么，
就哎呀
就定了点开头就结束了。
翻译能不能适当多给点话？是我们非这么辛苦的，因为是就用2下子不用了。这个要想出效果，这个光是这个这是，再去拿个电池，扔里边，他电池还没上。你还要做一下吗？这方了。 这样不行，这个萝卜，里边，来，先接。 7:50了，8点开始了。关上门是否？那你把它打开就行了。
哦，怎么打开啊？
不是，叫你。
换口
换口吧。
甘露兰那边上课的多不多？这边乌鲁还有教授空的吗？
上午教室有些是空的，这边有的有些教室。
Om Sambara Sambara Brahmana Sarama Humba Soha Om Sambara Sambara
Brahmana Sarama Zambaba Humba Soha Om Sambara Sambara Brahmana Sarama Zambaba Humba Soha Om Nachalanam Dharam Shalandab Rakib Shojib Janab Jibaya Sarji Chuta Gindana Babizo Kanlab Shamsalab Dacha Trashi Shor Drame Jabo Zada Dundrugon Shambi Jawala Gita Wadamba Kanla Gomba Jachara Tabaja Hambur Tarba Zata Wadana Sinchan Tamja Lagon Jabi Yasaman Zabazara Jahwadin Sansanan Tubi Rashi Walbalava Devara Shapan Jalab Shamzalom Jawala Jana Warda Durjins Yereza Wangombo Shambi Wala Sayin Yambo Daba Nambaras Namkim Yambo Manjo Gandaza Wakwala Durji Barkara Lakanda Norvala Rajanya Mayim Shansalala Namanjashi Warginjo Shanchibusin Wabdala Shansala Loran Chem Dinjo Jashi Sirginia Don John Zayela Kamala Nenda Don Don Banzo Walvia Manaba Jamsana Wamjira Kurlo Der and Chana Dom Chom Gelaji Shansala Jan Shoti Jelawan Chujaji Jelama Gosong or Dambi Walabelami Rakib Lamod Jalab Shansala Lom Tamba Chimbo Dim George and Mava Mirton Dan Jebo in Koraton Baji Bodala Wami Merza Namtoji de Larzi Kurlo Dan Chakala Tam Don Durjijan Bawara Jim Chutana Jensen and Zanan Sasamani Sagila Jashipir Jitana Joab Jalab Shanzalo Dacha Tandar Shawar Sumbala Gatani Varasiva Kanjanin Dotana Wambala Samtana Yevjand Tashi de la Bansamanzo Bago Mahosha de Chanabaranga Bojand de Don Zuzura to Bega Macha de Bamiram Jali Durdin Mana Chimbo Churkana Thai Durji Jitana Washi Tiji Jazz, Bamaja Bokunding, I want it, not the lesson and I want to so I came by the water, them John the Page body chain there, and Malay Cherky and Dorishan and Mam, John the Jadi, Washi the dog. Once and Durji, one the kids, Antonia Bachimbo, and Yelada, Durji Kai, Karchita, some young, some Jadi comes some. Was a marpo corny on like a she don't generation the perception. Durji Japa and Buddhina, Naming or Durgi Joseph. Durji Japa Jimboy, not to the Deva Chimbudum Shilabam, Dai Jim to the Daviro Karajan and the Jigo, she was in Jib. Ramjanza Wangala Tola, Gibisolo and the Soup Shingilo, Chontanango Durgi Wadada, Tomala on the shipping order, Soloma, Hosha, the Chanabara, Ganga Bojanda, the Tonso to be a kicker, Machana Devon, Bamiro Janli, Durginia Mana, Chimbo, Churkana and I, Durji, Jitana Washi, Tiji, Jaziga, Bamaja book, Kundinga, Wangira, not a lesson and I want to hear. So I came by the water, them John the Page, body chain there, Malay Cherky, and Torushanam, John the Jadi, Washi the dog. Once and Durji, one the kids on Antonia Bachimbo, and Yelada. Durji Gai, Garki, Chasamayo, Gamazunga, Jadin comes among. Was a marpo corny on like a she don't generation the Banasher, Durji Chapachimbo, Tijina, Naming or Durgi, so. Durji Joji Japa Chimboye, Natana Deva Chimbudum Silaba. Jim to the Daviro Karajan and the Jigo, Shiva Janjab. Ramjam Zaza Wangala Zola, Gibisolo and the Sushinjilo, Shontan and Durgi Watada. Tomala on the shipping order, Soloma, Hosha, the Chanabara, Ganga Bojanda, the Tonsus to be a kicker, Maja Devon, Bamiro Janli, Durginia Mana, Chimbo. Churkana and I, Durji, Jitana Washi, Tiji, Jaziga, Bamaja book, Kunding, I want it, not the lesson and I want to hear. So I came by the water, them John the Page, body chain. Malay Cherky and Dorishan, Mam, John the Jadi, Washi the dog. Once and Durji, one the kids, and Antonia Bachimbo, and Yelada, Durji Kai, Karchita, some young, Gamazum, Jadi comes among. Was a marpo corny on like a she don't generation the Parashan, Durji Japa, Jimbo, Tigina, Naming or Durgi Joseph. Durji Japa, Jimbo, not in a Deva Chimbo, them Shilaba, Tai Jim to the Daviro Karajan, and the Jigo, she was in Jab. Ramjanza Wangala Tola, Gibisolo and the Sushinjilo, Shontan or Durgi Wadada. Tomala on the shipping order, Sola, Chumdanding, Gumbo, Japanayala, Shavanzalo, Gangalo, Driven, Yevden, Yarataran, Tara, Salavi. Janila Dungana Jevjan, Zishan, then Canala, Kanda, the Bezor, Mariam, Dingara, Jizarawe. Dotso can love a sheep that a say a light, it's a than a song, did that a chedron, moil, holy church, or daughter, Zalaja. Mariam and Salating, and you get generations and a dana, the name that jams at a gym that is and the leads of yet the walker. Chatan, Jenny, Gentry, the law, Mansalan, Jawal, Ayala, the Lomara Patana, Domara Patana, Domara Patana, Domara Patana. Marapatana, 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 Sidanan Jijin Tianava Wazaraji Dalotame Nandar Salani Guadam Tanju Jonle Tombayem Lojur Bombe Nawajeta Sola.
Today, I will talk about a special topic. Before that, I will first chat you transformation. I will first give you a transformation of the liturgy for the preliminary practice, because many people haven't started the preliminary practice. So there's two things I will be emphasize. The first thing I will talk about is that I hope in the future you can spend more efforts on the preliminary practice and try to finish this 500 and 1000 practice, the preliminary practice, which is very essential for all of you. So when you practice, it's better for you to follow a liturgy. So this is the first thing I will talk about. The second thing is that for each of you, you'd better to chat this 3 times, the 1, 2, 3 times every day, or maybe even more, like 21 times. So next year, if you can finish 130 times of the 1, 2 chatting, I promise to give you a red bead, just a red bead before the next year. And I will ask the whole Sangha to give blessings of those red beads, and I can share each one to all of you. So, and I hope you can take seriously in this chatting, and do not just give me a number, which is not so good. If you just give me a number, for example, someone had given me just a fake number of their preliminary practice, and they can even not finish the 10,000 preliminary practice. So this is the kind of bad person, you know. So they cannot receive any blessings from Buddhas or Bodhisattvas, even though like you received those Vajrayana teachings. Still, it is not so helpful, not so beneficial for you. So if you are not qualified to receive those precious teachings, but you try to fake your records, for me, I think that it is just a bad deed. If you just watch those blessing stuffs, it is not so helpful. We should be very sincere all our Dharma practice. Be truthful of that. So these are 2 things. The first is that for those who are serious in Dharma practice, especially if you want to follow the Tibetan tradition of Dzogchen, it's better for you to finish preliminary practice. This is very good for all of you. And for example, in Tibetan monasteries, all of those monks, they believe that this is a must to do. Otherwise, it's hard for them to claim to be a Tibetan Buddhist. So this is a very big event in their life to finish the preliminary practice during their life practice, a basic requirement. And for your people who may be in cities, of course, I know you're very busy, but if you can spend more effort, try to organize your time or practice instead of traveling and do something useless, I think you can still finish it. Otherwise, I don't think it is good for you. Maybe even after 10 years, you cannot finish preliminary practice. So this is 2 hopes from me. And the first one, of course, if you do not have any faith in Vajrayana practice, that's okay. But if you do have these sincere devotions, it's better for you to finish this 500,000 preliminary practice. then your human body could be very precious. This is first point. And the second point is that you'd better to chanting Wondu every day. Although this is not a requirement from me, but hopefully you can still do this practice, do this daily chanting. So if you really finish this 100 practice, it's better. Yeah, I will promise that I will give you one red bead, just one. So, and also for me, I need to prepare this special gift. So I already repeated this requirement 4 more times. Maybe later on I will repeat 2 more times later, and then I will start it. I will start it this counting. And even though you cannot finish this chanting within 1 year, maybe you can still make a vow to chanting Wondu like 3 times a day within the next 3 years. I think it won't take you too much time. Of course, it depends on your own determination, and it depends on your own efforts. So every day you chant 3 times within this 3 years. I think this is another option for you, which is maybe a little bit easier for you. So the 3 times 1 day to chant Wondu prayers composed by Mipo Rinpoche. So maybe you can raise your hand, but I don't think if all of you raise your hand, sometimes I feel I have some doubt. So if you are ready to chant 3 times Wondu per day within 3 years, please raise your hand. Why there's so many people raising their hand? And also for these people who receive teaching from internet, maybe you can raise your hand, and I can receive your information. I can receive your message. But there's no any rewards, but it's still good for you within those 3 years. And also I know most of you are taking my classes every day, and every day, like before class we will chant 3 times Wondu every day during our class prayers. So it is still could be count in your practice. So this is 2 requirements from me. And this time for the Vajrasattva Dharma Assembly, there's not too many people here at Ngarungar. And I think it is not a bad thing, because later on in the future, if there's too many people coming to Ngarungar, I don't think this is durable or realistic. And I think the most important thing is that your practice have some good qualities. This is the most important things for me. And I think that in the near future, probably this teaching through internet is the main method for us to give you teachings. I think this is a very good mean for all of us. And during these days for the Dharma Assembly, I know you are all kind of tired. I won't waste your too much time, and probably most of you didn't have a very good sleep last night. Seems like you are very tired. So, but still, I have to finish this 1-hour teaching. So during these few days, no matter where you are, either at Ngarungar or in other Dharma center, and we together practice Vajrasattva, I think this is very good. And still, we have a few days to finish this Dharma Assembly. And I know that some people already left Ngarungar after receiving that 8 precepts from lay practitioners. And I think for those of you, if you don't feel comfortable with your current stay, probably you can move to this Ngarung restaurant, and here the condition is better than the other Dharma hall. So
这样的话，然后就你们也不用分得太那个，男种女种不用分得太细。
So I don't think that you need to make a very strict distinction between male practitioner or female practitioners. I think it's okay. It's okay, and just have some more comfort condition for all of you. It's the best.
下面我
Okay, so next I will chat the translation of this liturgy or preliminary practice, illumination of the path to liberation.
是官家安排的，官家很不错这样。跟住俺当大路上是几个，那么今呢，咱们这个东北人这你那东西就是那人。刚才我的观点，他们很同意。你看，大家都这样。
So just now I said that it's not necessary to separate your male practitioner and female practitioner. Seems like you all agree with me.
Lo mu kang tang bo go di ji dan ma da lo zhen yo dong zhen gang la sam jian ji bi jiu ren chue ni xiang nam ji jia mi de dong zi sem ji ren gu ne zi men gang dong ne ba dou za la gong zhou geng di la me ti ji ma tong chue zhan bu xin ji lo kan lo lim zhe nan jin ma za dim zhe lo me bi lam de lian guo dong ning de bi jiu zhen rang la men bu ni na yang zao zhen ma ne ji do zi zhen ji dong men ni dou za la gong zhou geng di la me ti ji zi ge de lang de ji bu xin ji lo zo bu ge ding er mang dan dan ni de 대ver 나 일린게라잖아. 저쪽 봄봄 다들 등을지 강성코라 메이고음저 때때면시 저도서 꿈좀 건디라메 들지죠. 님 선배께 우리 신기 로 님좀 선배께 우리 신기 로 된다 고선 전지 열간에 구슬라마 어리긴다. 제비라마에 좀 간주 거름던들 돈적 되금선 게나마 예전에 제도든 더베서 야도 손으로 올라오는 남바자 요런도 좀 초기에 냐라 겐던던 타쿠리시 주경 손음던 저지 뒤선 자베를 함짓근 맞sam에 버터 좀 tarxarviyim dandarang dama zogdulji kartar semchin kangi kibdat ne tindane zongshan chur nyambur yichin chukur kyawsan rorusam namkana zinamka alamayadam kana sonunda sajin zongan babadara jojo kibi kyawsam che kyawerte timdan dusam la tomar sadmi babjiblo jani ho chartar tiqsam gyara chib che ki jan jogdo tingna kibadang dogdim kachin rogun mazdong varablam jan jogdo semke do dambam chogla bijis semki kyabar jangi dogdam tayi semjani san dimbala imrchibi danya do shan jogdo semke do manjir barana aho jom nyam churgi jangu Rana Mangalong Giring Jam, Kaju Turkijan Kubana, consultation to be friend, Murder, Umrana, the Magara, Samaran, Zamaya, Ahon, Dorzim, Kumle. The Rishutubani Dandanda, what don't do some dying down, Dorji Jones, Nima Yimdan, Terror, Long Teachers of Dorji Kitron G, Taker, that on Yugi. Kura, there's a young, the Rutabaja, Banzer Sato, Sama, Banzer Sato, Tinabati, Romas, Obama, Romas, Surakan, Hao Banzara, the Nagada, my means of Mahazaman Sato, Gumbo machine Mumbai, Damslan, Garjanian, Lamangumokun, so do in the Mati Jimodani, John Joe, Sola, Darkumche, the same time Chikazon to Yan, dancing about them Tolo, Zorji, the Tronino, Jimmy Sotam, Changa, Banzata, Zorji, Sora, and Dorjis and Jani, give you dancing sometimes Tabayano, Rana Tembe, Randa, same Jen, Damsel, Dorjis, and good year, some Lambander, Sadon, Mother. Bazar Sadon again, the Dodges on Jujin Roachi Gamali, but the Salam Gubra of Dodons and Tamchi Tamsin Second on the Nation Yamburatan number Tabra shows of Malon the Brazil Nami Namjan Emma Rana Tabaran Jangams around the Dojin under Mazaravi, which Stone near the Stanatianic and the origin Dojin, Karzan, Karmarjans on Dodget, Naman, Kitchen on Surgery. Yim Dancher, Russian Gidkin Kurjam Zoro, Sadilamam Kandro Tamjin Chit, that you can share in the Jir, Naval it in the easy, but Chertra Gombi, Ten Latam, Horn Generation of Bama is a noble and Jong, and Bam Jong Jizron, Korum Gigi, the she loves on Grapa Master Dog, Sidon Sun, the Ransom Junior, Jet Johnson, and of the Bano, leader. Ligne de Gibe Jamser, Lord, not to consumption, to the ceremonies of Tilton Jimchi, Jean, could get to Kanaji, and Rokan to Dodge Kirjin, the Zaji Kudu, Kud, Sur Getomali, Sanki Tosher, Mo, Soradabano, no sure you won't go down the Scotland to give to Zan and Road donation, Kadrum Kurji, Kurpam, Johnny Gilazo, Sora, the Urban John Sora, and the Dalawan Kurchingi loved the Surajim Mugir Don Shito, Sora, the Wazir of Dirsi Gingis, one Kurchingi Labra Samna, Jan, Original Yedom Karo, Mobile Gone, Tantar, Wangelembano, Lamenos, you can also Wazirkan. Tangsum Shone Ranganism Tambi, Shinjil, Laram Lama Kojigo, the Jotambilam, Ningatil, Tun, Lamitan, Ranzo Yermeta, Nimasem, Churkin Jarbe, Bajata Wanji Ishi, Lamjim Jungjam, Kujim, Wungirvi, Jen Wonker Mali, Tober, some Malbadan Gurpamazadoma, Badan Gurpamaz. 사당 남지 연도 라존에 도 진천거 공범 일도 쇼这样啊
So
今天
today,
给大家简单讲一下
I will briefly talk about a special teaching, teaching for all of you,
主要是讲一些禅修禅悟
mainly about meditation, awakening and meditation, and also we're providing this simultaneously interpreting in English. We mentioned the other day that if you are not really clear with my Chinese teaching, maybe probably you can follow this English translation. So no matter in which way, we do really need that. We really need that this communication on the same platform, all over the world. So we'd better to follow this modern age, to have this communication with all of the people, with all the people all over the world, across the world. And for me, mainly the main purpose for me to communicate or to share something with you is for Dharma practice, not for any politics or economic benefits, but I really care about this Dharma spreading all over the world, especially to encourage you to engage some serious listening and reflecting and meditation. So in this case, we do need more volunteers to contribute all this platform. I know that there are so many people are making great efforts all these areas, and I really appreciate their efforts. I know that they're also through their efforts, through their work, like they can spread this positive energy to all the people all over the world, and I think this is quite good for all of you. So and also you can also those people who do some volunteer works can also get those great benefits, great blessings from these activities, Dharma activities. So today I won't talk too much. As required by the notice, I remember because I have to finish before 9:30. So my teaching will be stopped around 9. And so today, the main topic is about meditation and awakening. Actually, this topic, meditation and awakening, is mainly about, from the Buddhist perspective, the first one, meditation, it really refers to samatha, which is to abide one-pointedly on one point. Focus your heart on one point without any distractions, and in that case you will attain a certain level of freedom. Currently, for most of us, like our heart, our mind is kind of distracted from here and there. And sometimes we take this metaphor that sometimes like there's a yak like who this yak is running all over the world, and the owner of this yak cannot fight it. Maybe the same for our current situation. That's why we do need to abide our mind to achieve a peaceful mind, and this is something called samatha. And also there's some other different ways to express this samatha to achieve a peaceful mind. And talking about awakening, it is something related to the vipassana. So we kind of need to recognize the real nature of our mind. So this is the real meaning of vipassana. We do really need this great wisdom to recognize the reality of your heart, not only just abide your heart, your mind, or some certain point. Sometimes, like when we are talking about Zhou, there are so many special instructions to guide us how to recognize the real nature of our mind. So there's two aspects, shamatha and vipassana. And probably it's better for me to first start with some word game meditation. You know, as Buddhists, this is a must for us to be able to meditate, have this ability of meditating. You know, in this Western world, in those Western countries, so many people pay special attention to meditation. You know that yoga has been very popular in many countries in order to have a very healthy shape, or to lose their weight, to lose their weight, or to keep healthy. And for so many reasons, yoga has become so many popular in Western countries, or maybe even in some other countries. Maybe you'd better to sit quietly without too much movement. You'd better to focus on my teaching and also make some notes. And if you just move too much, it's kind of disturb. It's something against this meditation topic. If you cannot make your body stable, your heart is more difficult to be comfortable. So I just mentioned that yoga is very popular in many different countries for physical healthy, and including China and also some other countries, some big cities. There are so many yoga studios. You know, people are practicing yoga. Actually, mainly their practice of yoga is just for their physical healthy. It's an exercise of their body. But in order to tame our mind, in order to purify our mind, we'd better to engage more in meditation. This is very important. Actually, in recent years, in many Western countries, so many people have recognized its necessity. So, as you know, like in universities, in companies, or even in prisons, in some government departments, so many people are practicing meditation. Like so many different peoples, like celebrities or students or militaries or prison inmates and some professors. So many people they are engaged themselves in this practice. So as you can see that they're try to focus on their mind by this technique of meditation. The reason is that through meditation, people can reduce their stress or pressure or some mental diseases can be cured, including some cancer can be cured through meditation. That's why right now so many people are like meditation, and meditation becomes some kind of mainstream in this modern world. And as you can see, like especially in some big companies, for example, like Twitter, Google, or Boeing, or Apple, Mac, and also Intel. So many great companies, they launched this program. For example, Intel launched this mindfulness program in Intel in 2015, and 100,000 employees of Intel attended this program, this 9-week mindfulness program. The reason that they launched this program is that, usually within these companies, within these big top companies, people are very busy with their own job, but still they recognize that this meditation has great benefits of their mental healthy and physical healthy. So that's why they want to have this program within their own companies. So this is something we Buddhists need to be aware of. And also, meanwhile, through some scientific research, we know that meditation can really change our brain, change the structures and other things within the brain. I know that there's research conducted by professor in Harvard University called Dr. Mazar, and she did her research on brain before and after meditation. For example, she took MRIs of 16 participants before and after they attended 8 weeks mindfulness program, and this MRI research shows that before and after this 2 months practice, their brain has some change. For example, those green matter density shrink in some area of their brain, and which is positively correlated with decrease in stress, as well as an increase of their happiness and well-being. So from this scientific research, they can conclude that meditation can help people to achieve a clear clarity, a clear mental clarity. So this is their scientific research. They know that the longer you meditate, the stronger ability you have to discerning or to create, and so many great qualities can happen, and those positive emotions can increase, while those negative emotions can be reduced. So for us, for our emotions, we have negative emotions like anger, jealousy, sadness. All of those can be reduced through meditation practice, while those positive emotions, for example, happiness, bravery, and so many great qualities can be cultivated through meditation. So that's why they believe that meditation is helpful for their mental health. Of course, they never think about those Buddhist scenarios, for example, bodhicitta or renunciation mind, but just from their perspective, from their point of view, they think that meditation is beneficial, has great benefits for all of them. Even though like some people believe that this is some secular practice, actually this meditation actually rooted in Eastern culture. For example, in Buddhism, for some great person, they really believe that this meditation teaching, this technique actually is originated from Buddhism or from other Eastern cultures, Eastern traditions. Although like those kind of mindfulness meditation is kind of in a lower level within Buddhist teaching, but still they appreciate this great value. So today I bring 2 books, and there's something I want to share with you. And one book is about the biography of Stephen Jobs. I bought this book 7 years ago, and this book was published just not long ago before he died. So at that time, this book got very popular, so I bought one copy. And within this book, actually, seems like he is a Buddhist, or maybe he do not completely deny Christian. But most people believe that his creativity was from his meditation practice. And here I want to share one paragraph with you from this book. He said that in a very sunny afternoon, he feels not so comfortable. So he sits in his garden and thinking about death. He can't remember his experience 40 years ago when he was in India, how he got interested in reincarnation and Buddhism. He said that my beliefs in God may be not so sincere, but maybe he means that he also has some sincere devotion towards Buddhism as well as to God. But no matter which way he believes that there's something transcend this worldly life, this mundane life, and he also prefer to believe that there's reincarnation, especially when death is coming to him. So as you know, from so many different perspectives, as you know, this Apple. These iPhones, many people believe that his creativity is from his Zen practice, from his meditation practice, and this is something kind of amazing. And he said that his experience in India back to 30 or 40 years ago, like he stayed in a monastery to practice meditation. And we know that for this great person has some greater contribution in technology. Actually, his creative is actually from India. Actually, I really like this country, India. Even though currently seems like those living conditions or some other conditions kind of poor, including its economic status. But I feel that India is really great because this great source is originated within or from India. Actually, someone also share the same thoughts with me. Seems they're saying that they feel that Tibet has the same feeling. Tibet has this great culture, has this great spirit, and they feel Tibet is a very good area. And the next thing is about many ordinary people are fond of meditation. And this meditation actually is related with Buddhist practice. And so I'll show you this book, which is a very popular book, a bestseller book. Usually I don't share this kind of thing to you in my class, but I know that this book already becomes so popular nowadays. This author wrote 2 books. One is Sapiens, another is Homo Deus. And I bought this book. I bought this book recently. Within this book, this author, Yuval Harari, he's a person with great creativity, and he has a great ability in his intuition, and he practices meditation every day for 2 hours, one in morning, 1 hour in the morning, and another hour during the evening. And he said that, and also he may spend 1 or 2 months silent retreat every year. And this book actually is kind of difficult to understand because it covers so many great knowledge, including AI. But there's something I want to share with you about his personal practice. My class seems like a nice work. So here in this book, Homo Deus, the author said that I read you just one paragraph. Maybe my reading is not so perfect, but you can understand. He said that I want to thank my great teacher, Goenka. Goenka, he's a Buddhist. He was born in India and then he went to Burma to receive some teaching. And he died in 2013. And he said that all his teaching actually directly from can be rooted in Buddha. He has this lineage, and his practice mindfulness meditation is very popular. He said that he really appreciate his teaching, the teaching from his teacher Goenka. He said because his teacher taught him this technique of vipassana meditation, which can let him to observe the true reality of the book, and also try to learn more about the whole world as well as his own mind. Without those 15 years practice, he cannot write this book. Probably you are also familiar with his teacher Goenka. Probably you know about him, and also his first book, Sapiens, which was published a few years ago, all become very popular. So these two bestseller books actually has something to do with Buddhist meditation. So today I want to say that I'm not saying that you should read this whole book. I'm not saying that, but the question is that why this amazing popularity actually has something related with Buddhism. So I think there's something related with Buddhist practice, meditation. So this is something I want to share with you. Actually, this meditation can really bring you some incredible creatives or intuitions or some incredible ability to do something. So this is something I want to share with you. Like even though you claim that you are Buddhist, but if you cannot do any meditation practice, I don't think it is a good thing for you. And also for myself, like I spent so many years to study those 5 great treatises, sutras and sastras. Like I spent so many times all the Dharma study, and I'm sure like for most of you, you have also spent so many times on learning, debating, discussing, or Dharma study. You are doing a great job in this area, but somehow I'm afraid that your personal practice may not so enough. So I'm hoping that since from this year, hopefully that you can learn this ability of meditation in your daily practice. Otherwise, it's very hard for you to put what you learned into your daily life. So of course we know that the first thing is to listen in Dharma practice. For example, Sakyapatita said that without learning or without listening and directly go to practice, it's like a person who wants to climb cliff, however, without 2 arms. So this is absolutely impossible. This is very difficult to practice without any learning or hearing the teaching. But after some years, if you just spend your time of hearing and listening, but without any practicing, without any meditation, it's also not a good thing, because you cannot put what you learned into your own stream. For example, in Tibetan old sayings, we are saying that for those food, you have to eat by yourself. Similarly, for those Dharma teachings, you have to practice by yourself. Otherwise, you cannot make any great progress. And also in from our adornment sutra, it is said that just like a deaf person, a deaf musician who can play music to please others, but this person cannot enjoy the music himself. So in that way, you know, the same thing for those Dharma practitioners who do not engage the actual practice. So that's why I encourage you to do some personal practice in your daily life. Otherwise, probably there's no great meaning for you. And also, there's a story taught by Buddha in a sutra. He said that there's two brothers, who one is living meditation and another is living hearing or learning the Dharma. And the one who likes practicing became a great arhat, and the other one who likes learning becomes a great Dharma teacher, but who has great arrogance. And in order to tame this person, one day the Buddha praised that arhat, seeing that he is so great in his personal practice. But the disciples of that great master are not so happy with Buddha's comments. They feel very bad with that. So the Buddha later explained the reason, because that person who likes practice already achieved the arhathood. So same for us. I know most of you like to teaching, you like to hear the Dharma, you like to debate, but this is just some intellectual knowledge, not something within your own mind stream. So you have to spend your time or your own practice so that you can plant those teachings into your own mind. So sometimes you can also notice that some great masters, they have very great Dharma activities, but for others, their Dharma activities are not so great. The only reason is depends on their personal realization. The same thing for some elderly teacher, you know, if this teacher really has some good qualities and people would respect this teacher, otherwise it's hardly to give people's respect. And in Tibetan, we also has a teaching saying that also from our adornment sutra, seeing that see that just like a man fall into water, he is afraid of drowning and died due to thirsty. So the same for those who hear a lot of teaching but do not practice. The same thing. Even though he learned a lot, like just within the water, but still he cannot taste the water. He cannot taste the real things of Dharma teachings. For example, probably you have heard about the way of Bodhisattva or the middle way or the other great sutras so many times. Even though, like for me, like of course I can give you some great teaching, all those five great treatises, but personal practice probably is another story. And including myself, all of us need to spend more efforts on practice or meditation. So usually, previously, we kind of encourage you to do some connectivity practice, like every week you gathering together during the weekend to do some study together, which is very good for all of you. For those of you who know nothing about about Dharma teaching, but through this connective study, through this connective practice, they learn a lot about Dharma practice. But actually, this is just some intellectual practice. But when death is coming to us, still this will be a very big problem for all of us if we do not practice this Dharma teaching. So that's why I encourage you that from now on, you'd better to do some connective meditation practice, and meanwhile to keep this current study, the connective studies, group studies. So I think it's better for you every time during your school group study, maybe you can spend half an hour to do some meditation. Maybe at the very beginning it is not easy for you. You feel very hard to do that. Maybe at first even half an hour is something impossible for you. But I think it will be okay later on. Like some of you at first when you receive some Dharma teaching, it's hard for you to sit on the ground or the floor. You know, your body becomes so rigid. Seems like you can never sit there quietly for an hour. But gradually you can make it. And for some senior practitioners, it seems like they can stay quietly, just sitting there for meditation for the whole day. So from now on, I think that it is very important to engage more practice in your daily life, and you must make efforts. Even though like you can talk about the theory, you know this kind of knowledge. No matter how can you express those Dharma knowledge, either by talking or by writing, I don't think it has great meanings for you, because the most important thing is to tame your mind. For example, there's a teaching saying that, again, from the Flower Adornment Sutra, it is said that, for example, just like a good doctor who knows how to prescribe, he knows how to cure the others, but he cannot help himself when getting ill. So, and also he don't know how to take the medicine by himself. So the same thing for those who hear a lot but do not practice. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe at the very beginning, every week you must spend 1 hour on your meditation. In that case, probably every day you only need to spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. I think this is not something very difficult for you. Maybe at first you feel this is a little stressful for you to keep this habit, but maybe later on you will get used to it, just like drinking coffee. At first you feel that it's not so good, but later on you think that coffee is something so delicious. You rarely want to drink coffee. The same for Dharma practice. As long as you are kind of addicted to this Dharma practice and you won't feel any difficulty to engage your Dharma practice. But otherwise, without this kind of habitual practice, even though like you can give very good teaching or happiness or death or impermanence, no matter how good, how excellent you can talk about this topic, it's still useless. For example, you know that the Buddha has 2 disciples. One is called and another called Ditadava. These two persons, even though they realize on Buddha for so many years and they are so learned, but without any practice, still they are so arrogant. They are not respecting the Buddha. And you know, especially for Devadatta, he was so proud of himself, and he cannot appreciate any good quality of the Buddha. He thinks at the very beginning it seems like he's okay, but later on he was so arrogant that he did not respect Buddha at all. Actually, this person was very learned. It is said that Devadatta can recite 60,000 texts, which together was so heavy that even an elephant cannot drag this whole text. And for some of you, maybe you can chat some great sutras, or maybe you can chat a few teachings, but it's hard to imagine that Devadatta can recite so many great sutras, so many great teachings, but still he cannot tame his mind, and later on he was so suffered by his negative thoughts, and he was so addicted to those worldly offerings. And later on he always create some conflicts with the Buddha. And I think sometimes I feel that, for example, at Arangar, some Dharma teachers, it seems like they're so great, they're very clever, and also they're loving to study, but later on they have very bad connections with others, and this person becomes so arrogant, and later on their display or their view or their practice all become kind of destroyed. So I kind of saw this kind of examples at Arangar, so including some Khenpo or Khenpo. So I feel that this is a very bad result, a very bad consequence for themselves. Without personal practice, they just become so arrogant, and even though they can talk so beautifully, but these behaviors are very poor, are very negative. And I think the same thing, the same situation happens within those lay practitioner groups. Without any personal practice, it's hard to imagine their future. It's very hard for them to control their negative emotions or their negative thoughts. Later on, probably they may even lose their confidence in the 3 jewels. And at first, they have some very bad connections with their Dharma friends. For example, some lay practitioners have very bad relationship with their Dharma friends, and later on, probably they may have even worse connections with their guru or with the Dharma teaching or with 3 jewels. So this is very dreadful. So probably you needed to. It's better not for you to say some beautiful words like you have relied on some great teacher, you have relied on some great person, you have received some great initiation. Seems like it is not so useful if you do not put those Dharma teaching into your own mind. In that case, maybe you can perform kind of better in front of others, but eventually your Dharma practice will fail, and maybe your worldly activities could be also destroyed, and maybe you cannot even be a very good person, have some personal good quality. And also, like in the doctrine of the means, it is said that one must study broadly, investigate in detail, and deliberate all it carefully, and destroy it clearly, and practice it universally. So as you can see, that the last point is to practice. This practice is so important for all of us. Without this personal practice, it's hard for you to spread any good virtuous teachings into your own life. It's hard for you to apply those good teachings into your own life, even though some great teachings theoretically, but still it's not useful, not helpful for you to use them. So that's why again and again I repeated the importance of personal practice of meditation. For example, if you practice precious human existence very well, and for sure you will become a very successful Dharma practitioner. And also, if you practice compassion very well, and you can also very successful in your Dharma practice. So that's why I'm seeing that meditation or Dharma practice is so important. Of course, meditation has a very broad meaning. Broadly, it means that you have to familiarize your mind into certain virtuous teaching. And narrowly speaking, we're seeing that meditation means that you just abide your mind one-pointedly or something, but still, even this kind of abiding do need some instructions. Like Nagarjuna said in a letter to his friend, he said that without meditation, there's no wisdom. Similarly, without wisdom, there's no great meditation. So that's why we do need both. And then next question is that how to practice, how to meditate. And I think that especially for some young people, you'd better to set up a goal for your personal meditation. You cannot just focus on your learning and study, and you just ignore this practice. Actually, this is not reasonable. And also, you cannot just focus on practice and ignore the study part. It is also not reasonable. So we have to combine this both, study and practice. And similarly, and also, like for example, use a very simple example. This preliminary practice. Sometimes, like I know that, especially some Western people, they have some very great feeling of the practice of impermanence, but sometimes they have some difficulty to believe or to imagine that great suffering of those hell beings, the beings in the hell. So different people have some different feelings, and also like when we are talking about suffering, seems like they are so interested in suffering. I remember that once I shared 8 types of suffering in a university, and I feel that suffering is a very simple topic for me. You know, there's 3 types of suffering: suffering over trade, suffering upon suffering, or suffering all pervasive suffering. But when I share this topic to them, they feel so interested. Seems like this something really new to them. But sometimes I want to share with them this special technique of meditation, and they don't think that this is necessary. They just try to follow their own habit. I remember that once I teach them that 7 points of meditation, but they don't think this is something very good or very helpful for them. They prefer some other pointers. But here I'm seeing that maybe this is something you need to pay attention. Actually, all Buddhas are relying on this great posture, the 7-point posture, to achieve Buddhahood. Actually, this has great meaning within this posture. So that's why maybe for all of you, each of you, you'd better to know this technique, and you'd better to receive some authentic instructions for your own meditation. And at the very beginning, maybe it is hard for you to follow this kind of instructions, but later on, you know, there would be a very big difference for you. And sometimes we know that there's some great stories saying that just by making prostration, people can figure out who is this person's teacher. And similarly, for those people who did a very good practice, their people can see that their mind are very well tamed. They are very silent, very quiet. So their appearance is so elegant, so different from the ordinary people. So this is something very obvious. And so without Dharma practice, without meditation, actually it's hard to achieve such kind of result. And for example, if I talk with someone, maybe just for a couple minutes, then I can tell that, oh, okay, this person have no any meditation experience. But for those who meditate years and years, and and his behaviors or his thinking pattern, his thinking habit will be so different from those ordinary people, and this is very obvious. And also, I remember that the original goal for us is to listening, reflecting, and meditation. This is the 3 key points that we do need to follow. And I remember a few years ago when I gave teaching on the way of a bodhisattva, I required you to practice the bodhicitta every morning and every evening for half an hour. I know that many people actually keep this habit, keep this practice for so many years. But again, I know that some people, it's very hard to follow this teaching, to follow these instructions, and if they without this kind of habitual practice, it's very hard for them to practice patience, and it's very hard for them to deal with their karmic obscurations. Without practice, without meditation, seems like their mind is not so tamed, and it is very difficult for them to do anything in a long term. And also, I remember there's a great story given about Mingyur. It is said that when his great disciple Khenpo are ready to leave, back to those years, the transportation is very poor, and his hometown, Khenpo's hometown, is so far away from Mingyur's place. So before he left, the disciples asked his teacher for some great teachings, and Mingyur, the teacher, told him that, okay, I already gave you all my teachings, nothing left, and you just ready to go back to your hometown. And after a while, when he walked far away from his teacher, when he was ready to cross a river, and then all of a sudden the teacher Mingyur shouted to his disciples, said that I have a very great teaching, a very secret, a precious teaching. At that time, because the disciple Khenpo already went across the river, so he can the teacher Mingyur can only show him something. So the teacher just show his button in front of his disciples, which is so hurt due to the long-term meditation. So this is the personal instruction of Mingyur to his great disciples of Gautama, meaning that he just stay within the cave to do meditation in his entire life. So this is such a precious teaching to his to his disciples. So from this story, we know that each of us do need spend great efforts on meditation. And these days for us, like right now, we have this Dharma assembly. Seems like it is not so easy for you to sit on the floor the whole day to chant mantras. But back to those age, Mingyur was sitting on a rock to do meditation, and his button was so hurt. And from this story, we know that we should really spend more efforts on meditation. So mainly the point I want to share with you is that you should diligently make efforts on meditation. You should try all your best to put the teaching you received from your teacher into your daily practice. For example, death and impermanence. If you received this great teaching, and you should really think about it, and you should really reflect all this teaching. And I also mentioned like these two great persons to you just now, like they also shared their personal experience of their practice, of their meditation. If we really think about it, you know that you should know what you should do in the future. And no matter the teaching from your guru or from the Buddha, no matter what kind of teaching, you should really deeply think about the teaching, deeply reflect on the teaching through meditation. And in that case, you can achieve some benefits. In that case, you can change your mind into a better way. So this is something I mainly want to share with you. You must have this habit of meditation in your daily life, in your daily practice. Of course, currently those worldly meditation, for example, mindfulness meditation, is not something very difficult. For example, yes, you should drink water in a mindful way. You should really focus your mind at this present moment. Of course, this is a very good practice for you. I know that there's a professor in UCLA. She said that actually the pressures are just from either the past or the future, but at this present moment, there's no pressure. If you can really focus your mind on this present moment, actually, you won't feel any pressure. Actually, your happiness and well-being can greatly increase. Of course, we have some similar teaching in Buddhist. At this present moment, this mind, this present thought is clear and pure. And so it seems like those people feel like this kind of teaching is very fresh, very inspiring. Actually, in Buddhism, we already have so many great teachings which are much deeper and profounder than this kind of teaching. Actually, you really need to appreciate this great teaching and put them into your own daily practice. So comparing with those great teachings, actually this so-called mindfulness meditation seems like it's not so difficult. But still, this meditation brings great benefits to people, to so many people. I know there's many best-seller books, for example, Secret, Power. Actually, those principles within those best-seller books actually are already covered within the Buddhist teaching. Maybe they do not use the same phrase, the same words within Buddhism, but actually they're sharing the same theory within the Buddhism, some similar theory. So for us Buddhists, if we can really do some great practice, do some continued practice, we can achieve great benefits from this great teaching. And also, as I mentioned earlier, this great person, Harris, said that through his meditation, actually he was able to truly see the reality, truly see the world as well as his mind. And for us Buddhists, why not we spend all our efforts to do some great practice? And in that case, at least we can reduce those stress and pressures in our daily life. And furthermore, we can lead a better life in this world and also have some great progress in our spiritual path. So I just mentioned Jobs and others because so I will just stop here. Thank you. So I just saw his pictures. It's something inspired me.
Dingala samji chicha narvi zo kanga sechana diji nyevara zon tonye do payev shanjavi shara la mera shanchivim chota tivkirete Daja kwanye mendo kana maton para ranton jaldi wala maja para jambana labi samchana jirjana din jibara shao debi donchirala Kiwa kanda yapchi jembe tiran jahwala hwao jibshan jisu zon kanda zambo mola le tambe shanchu jeba jamzum darshan ko Mawa namjana gabja gabja diya shandaran wansan jami satanze tata shamdan yernim chota yer labchan chanli berwe tatavako Zangana leji delvi simjana naman sinda bozi dechana shanda ki wanzan tombara songa lontan to chenzi libi zachana zopara kyo Jamala jadana tarjayanda niri milendo nama bandi kwaji so tukena yala mumbanda kona danjara songi viya tandaras Shashi ganshi banzo deji tera mali jirgin yezu suzuman Makaga bata jamanyave gela na isa samajaba Kanjikas Nibishan Lada Junior Manjara Dambishan Lada Gendana Marshalan Dambishan Ladi Jadara Mola Mandabaraga Dayada Banza Jaya Awan Budana Zoha Bami Didi Durji Dunjamji Jarvena Lira Velambi Garamontolondari Bi Wajishi Jimala Banzo Jala Soloan Devati Jira Gombi Shanlo Nyalaji Tela Chita Di Barashanjilo Lapa Samdana Ngarmi Zambaya Dipi Soji Nindara Yongaja Tata Shadav Shavi Chandiwara Tartana Shondara Jibi